Hello, curious minds. Come, gather around. I have a story to tell you, a story from a long, long time ago. Before there were hospitals, before doctors wore white coats, before people understood what made them sick, I was there. I saw how people lived and how they suffered, and I made it my life's mission to help. My name is Hippocrates. People call me the father of medicine, but I wasn't born with a fancy title. Let me tell you how it all began. I was born on a little island called Kos in ancient Greece. It was beautiful. There were olive trees, blue skies, and the smell of herbs in the air. My father was a doctor, a healer. People would come to him from far away, hoping he could ease their pain. As a small boy, I used to sit quietly in the corner while he worked. I watched his hands move carefully, and I listened to the way he spoke so gently to his patients. I didn't understand everything, but I knew one thing. I wanted to help people too. I didn't go to a school with desks and blackboards. My classroom was the garden, the forest, the fields, and the busy streets of town. I watched how animals healed their wounds. I listened to the sounds people made when they coughed. I asked questions, hundreds of questions. Why do people get fevers? Why does one child grow strong while another becomes weak? What happens inside the body when someone feels pain? Everyone said, "It's the gods," or "It's a curse." But I didn't believe that. I believed there had to be a reason. When I grew older, I left Kos to travel. I walked for days and days from village to village, helping sick people wherever I went. Some lived in fancy stone houses. Some slept in tiny huts made of straw. But it didn't matter. Pain is pain, and all humans deserve help. With every person I treated, I learned something new. One had a strange cough. One had red spots on her skin. One had a twisted leg from falling off a donkey. I studied their eyes. I listened to their hearts. I smelled their breath. I touched their skin. Everything meant something. Everything was a clue. Back then, people believed sickness came from angry gods, bad spirits, or evil spells. If someone had a fever, they thought it was a punishment from Zeus. If a child got a stomachache, they blamed a ghost. But I said no. I believe that our bodies are like puzzles, and if you pay attention, you can figure out what's wrong. I told people sickness comes from nature, not magic. It was a new idea, and not everyone liked it. Some people even called me crazy, but I kept going because I knew I was right. I started writing everything down. I didn't want people to guess anymore. I wanted future doctors to learn from what I had discovered. I described diseases. I wrote about symptoms. I explained what I had tried, what worked and what didn't. Soon, I had pages and pages of notes. That became a whole collection of books called the Hippocratic Corpus, the first medical textbooks in history. And guess what? Some of them are still read today. But I didn't just care about medicine. I cared about how doctors should treat people. So I wrote something very special. It wasn't about diseases or medicine. It was about kindness, honesty, and trust. It's called the Hippocratic Oath, a promise that doctors make before they begin their work. It says things like, "I will do no harm. I will keep my patients' secrets. I will treat all people with respect. I will never use my knowledge to hurt anyone. Even today, thousands of years later, doctors still say that oath when they graduate from medical school, and every time they do, I smile. I didn't want to keep my knowledge to myself, so I built a school of medicine on the island of Kos. Students came from all over Greece to learn how to become healers. I taught them to look, listen, touch, and think. We studied patients together. We asked questions. We made careful notes. We looked for patterns. I told my students, don't guess. Don't believe something just because someone says it. Observe, test, learn. That's how science works. And that's how good doctors are made. To me, the human body is like a garden if you take care of it. If you eat well, sleep enough, move your body, and stay clean, it grows strong and healthy. If you ignore it, it becomes weak. So I told people, eat food that gives you energy. Sleep when you're tired, stay clean to keep germs away, and most importantly, don't ignore your feelings, because a sick heart or a sad mind can make the whole body hurt. I believe that health isn't just about the body. It's about the whole person. One day, a king sent messengers asking me to come and treat his son. At the same time, a poor farmer came to my door, limping and in pain. Do you know what I did? I treated the farmer first, because being a doctor isn't about helping the rich and powerful. It's about helping the person who needs you most. I believe every life matters, no matter how small. Now, I've been gone for many, many centuries. The world has changed a lot. We have microscopes, hospitals, stethoscopes, and machines that can see inside your body. But every time a doctor listens to a patient, tries to understand what's wrong, promises to do no harm, and puts kindness first, that's my spirit living on. Thanks for listening, my little healers and thinkers. Stay curious, stay kind, and take care of your wonderful bodies.